What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Flippin' Stoop. Yesterday, we went over some different things about the younger generation, what they can do, what we couldn't do if you're, I don't know, in your 40s like me. As a younger kid, eBay wasn't really a big thing and everybody didn't have cell phones in their hand, right? This video is going to be the exact opposite, right? For the people maybe my age, in your 30s, in your 50s, in your 60s, where you can literally, let me word it like this. This is what analogy I always use for myself when I'm doing self-talk. You can literally it's crazy. You can fuck your whole life up, exactly what I did, right? For 20, 25 years of doing stupid things, not believing in myself, didn't believe that anything good could happen from me, so on and so forth, right? Two, turning all your energy to eBay and at least financially becoming more successful than you've ever been. Right, and that is not just me trying to get people to follow me. That is a fact, right? You can jack your whole entire, like maybe you've always worked at a 9-to-5, a dead-end job, right? You know how many people in the world are working a dead-end job? They'll never make more than they're going to make. They're getting paid a set salary or a set weekly income amount based on the amount of hours that they give the company, and that's what they're going to have to live off, and there's no fluctuation there, right? Your boss isn't going to give you a $55 an hour raise next year. You're going to get a certain amount of money. There's a cap in most companies you go into, there's a cap, right? Unless you become a CEO or some shit and you really show your true colors and do that, right? But the great thing about eBay is there is no fucking cap. You can build it as big as you want. You could start with you. You could turn it into maybe a couple family members, and 10, 15 years down the road, you could have 250 people working for you if you want to, right? But most people don't want to put in that work. I don't know if I want to put in that amount of work to have 250 employees. It don't sound like that much to a large company, but 250 employees would be a lot to manage. Just a payroll would be insane, right? So what I wanted to say about eBay, after saying that you can fuck your entire life up, right? I'm going to go off some notes I wrote last night. You can fuck your whole entire life up, as I did, right? For many years and live paycheck to paycheck, $300 check here, $400 check here, $600 check there. And by the time Friday comes around, Saturday comes around, my bill, whatever I had to pay is paid and I'm broke, right? And then I got to wait till next week to get paid. You don't have to do that anymore. You know, that's one of my biggest things. Start up capital. Well, get a cheaper phone, right? Oh, well, I didn't think it was going to let me finish. But anyways, you can get a cheaper phone, but let's not even go that route, right? Say you jacked your whole life up. And the reason you jacked your whole life up is the same reason you can succeed on eBay, right? The one thing that and what I mean by jack your whole life up, look, man, if you're living and this isn't no judgment, this isn't no stab, this isn't no point at nobody. I am not belittling anybody. Listen, if you are living from paycheck to paycheck, you are losing. That is just the truth. That's not me being an asshole. I lost for 20 years of my life. If you have to live on the bare minimum of what you want and have to wait till the next week to get more income, you are losing in life. Now, you say that's just my opinion, right? But really think about it. You're not winning. You're not like, oh yeah, we saved $1,000 this week or this month or whatever, right? And what led us to that, right? What led me to that for 20 plus years is reputation, right? Reputation. The reputation of not believing in myself. The reputation of continuing to go to a 9-to-5 and accept this little ass paycheck and go back and bust my ass again. And still, my work wasn't good enough for the companies I was working for, right? When they're paying you $400 a week, $500 a week, and you're making them fucking $5,000 a week, it's still not good enough, right? So your reputation is what makes you or breaks you in life, and it's going to make you and break you in life. Literally, the key to success on eBay is reputation. What are you doing day in and day out? I'm going to tell you this. What I meant by repetition, I would go to work my 9-to-5, and then I felt as soon as I punched out, it was fuck off for the rest of the day, right? I didn't have to do anything anymore. I could put my feet up, I could watch Netflix until fucking midnight and wake up and do it all over, right? And then bitch about being broke. Who really looked stupid bitching about being broke when I'm coming straight home and I'm kicking my feet up in the lazy boy and I'm watching fucking Walking Dead until I fall asleep. I look stupid for that, right? So if you find yourself doing that, I'm not telling you to call yourself stupid, and I'm not calling you stupid, but don't bitch about being broke if you're wasting time. You know, Steve Bezos, all these people that are very successful, and I'm not saying I'm not even close to anything of that nature, but what I'm saying is, if you want, you don't have to be broke anymore. This is one of my biggest things about these videos anymore, because it's not about, how to become a reseller. Everybody knows how to become a reseller. Take some fucking photos, list some goddamn items, and ship them, right? It's literally, well, maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while. It's kind of like common sense. Maybe to somebody that's new and hasn't watched it, it isn't, right? But repetition is the key. Doing the same thing every day in and day out. Now, if you're one of the ones like I was complaining about being broke, and you're sitting on the sofa and watching Walking Dead until you fall asleep, and it don't have to be Walking Dead, it can be whatever the fuck it is, right? Sports, CNN, fucking ESPN, whatever. You watch the game, and then you watch the next 8 days about the highlights of the game. You already seen the fucking game. You're wasting your time. Why are you wasting your time, right? So ask yourself, if you're one of them people, what could you do differently to not be broke? You get paid Friday, you're broke on Tuesday. Well, what can I do when I get home from work so I'm not broke on Wednesday, Thursday, until Friday's payday? What can you do? This is something you could definitely do as a side hustle, pick it up, and not worry about being broke no more. That is exactly what I did at my 9 to 5. I was so tired of being broke before the next week even started. I started a side hustle. Everybody laughed. Everybody giggled. I was taking my packages in at noon. People were chuckling about it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? Fuck them. Fuck what people think. You don't even got to tell them what you're doing. But your reputation. So what do I mean by your reputation is if you're coming home and still kicking your feet up on that lazy boy and watching Walking Dead until you fucking fall asleep, maybe stop watching Walking Dead and do something productive that'll earn you some dollars. eBay will earn you dollars when you sleep. We wake up every single day wealthier than we did when we went to bed. Every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm not saying I'm getting rich from it, but I am waking up with more money in our account every single morning than I did when I went to bed. Now, that wouldn't happen if I still got out of my 9 to 5 and I came home and I kicked my feet up on a fucking lazy boy and I watched Walking Dead till I fell asleep. That wouldn't happen. I would still be waiting. Well, babe, we can't do nothing because I don't get paid till next Thursday, right? So your reputation will either make you or keep you where you are. If you just keep doing the same thing you've been doing every single day for the past 5 years, you can expect the next 5 years to look a whole lot. Actually, it's going to look worse because everybody gets sick and tired of being in the same spot after a while, right? No, I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about nothing like that. Like financially, it doesn't matter. Even if you make $2,000 a week, you're going to want more, right? So reputation. Bottom line, reputation. And that's what will lead to your success on eBay. It's not, I'm not telling you to go out there and find garbage items, okay? But it's not all about the items you find, man. I found out you can sell the strangest shit. I sell women's vintage pantyhose, okay? Shit people would throw away, I'm selling for 40 and 50 bucks, okay? That's literally what they did. They threw it away. They donated it. I went and bought it and made $35 on a pair of pantyhose, right? From the 50s or 60s. So your reputation will either make you or break you on eBay. If you can't be repetition, like if you can't keep doing your 15, 20, 30, 40, 65 items every single day, that's why you're not going to succeed on eBay. That's the only way you don't win on eBay. Okay? So with reputation, you will win or you'll lose. There's no in between. There's not going to be no in between whether you're going to win or lose. If your reputation of slacking will give you slack ass results. That's what it's going to give you, right? And I know that because I've done it. Okay, I got real comfortable where I was at and I started getting too comfortable and I relaxed. All right. So another thing I wanted to bring to the attention, this really stuck with me. You always have to have a goal in the forefront of your mind, like the finish goal, right? Like maybe, like for example, for me, I want a barndominium and I want to have an office on a top balcony looking down at people doing photography, right? Doing photography, listing items, so on and so forth. Hopefully 10 to 20 people in the future, right? So I have that vision in the forefront of my mind. And I'm going to read this to you really quick before I get into that. It says, don't work towards the goal, work from the goal, right? So if you work towards the goal, you write some things down, you don't even know what your end goal looks like, right? You don't know what your end goal looks like. So you don't even know what to work towards. Have the vision in the forefront, know what you are trying to achieve. I don't think there's nothing more impossible than knowing what you are trying to achieve and obtain. Okay, have that visual, find a picture of it, whatever, plaster it all over everywhere, and then and then start writing goals, how you're going to get there to obtain that vision you have in your head. Whatever your vision is, I don't know, maybe you want 99 employees. Maybe you want 9,000 employees in a warehouse as big as Amazon's. I don't know, right? But if you don't have a vision of the end in mind, like for example, I use bodybuilding because I used to do it a lot, and I've read up on it a lot, and I know a little bit about it. Okay, I'm not a master at bodybuilding. Obviously, I would be a monster, right? But the truth is, these bodybuilders that go into bodybuilding and get serious, they have an end picture of what they're going to look like before they even start setting their goals. They find somebody like Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates or something, they find a bodybuilder that they admire, and they admire their structure, right? They look at that and they said, that's the end result I want. And then they start putting something together that is going to inch them closer to that goal every single day, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, every single year, every single decade, right? Because you're not going to look like that in 2 months, right? It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen like that for you on eBay neither. Now, I don't mean to be the channel that pisses in people's Cheerios because somebody on YouTube's telling you you can make $100,000 a year your first 90 days. Man, you better quit listening to them motherfuckers, right? Unless you got $100,000 to throw in it and hire some people, you're not going to make that kind of money in 90 days. Now, you can do great in 90 days. I'm not telling you can't do great, but think about it. You're starting from, okay, so if you're starting from nothing and you got one fucking package like this, and you took the photo, now you got to wait for that to sell, right? Because you don't have any more items in inventory. And once that sells, then you take that money and go buy 2 of these. It's going to be a process. It's going to take a long time, right? It's going to take some time. But it can happen, and that's exactly how we got started. And if we didn't start, there is no way 4 years ago I could have been listing 30 to 45 items a day, consistent. There's no way. I would have never had the inventory. It just wouldn't happen. Eventually, you're going to hit a point where inventory, you're not even sweating being able to get inventory because you have enough capital to cover it, right? So, don't work towards the goal. Work from the goal. Okay? My goal, barn dominium with a walk-around balcony up top in my office, in my fiance's office up top. And we're able to look down on the people working. Not saying I'm not going to work because I'm going to be working, right? But I'm able to look down in our living quarters is in the next side over, right? On 15, 20 acres. That is my goal in mind. Driving an Audi R8 with any motorcycle of my choice. My wife to be, actually be married to her. Having all the animals she wants. She loves animals. She loves horses. She loves everything, right? She's an animal lover. Having whatever she wants. Having whatever that I have a vision in mind, and I know if I do X amount of items a day within 5 years to a decade, we can have that. Okay. Now, when you start telling people that it might take you 5 years to a decade, they start thinking, no, you know what? It's just going to be too much work, and who's to say it's going to happen, right? You got to get over that. You got to make it happen. You got to make it rain. Like you hear, there was that song that you say that make it rain, right? You have to make it happen. There's no going to be lucky strike. You're going to list 100 items and you're just going to be some phenomenal reseller and you're going to be doing millions of dollars of sales a year unless your hundreds of items are fucking condos, right, on the East Coast. Then maybe you can do that with 100 fucking condos listed. But you ain't going to do that like we did it. There ain't no fucking way you're going to do millions of dollars in sales with freaking 5,000 some odd items listed, right? Unless, I take that back. If you have very high-end items, you could, right? But we don't have really high-end items, okay? We only have a few, and we're going where we are at locally. You don't see a lot of people wearing true Gucci and art. You see a whole lot of people rocking some imitation shit, right? And or it's actually authentic, and then they can't pay their bills for the next 6 months. You see that shit a lot too, and that's silly. But anyways, so repetition is definitely the key. You can jack your whole fucking life up. You can jack your entire financial fucking life up for 20 years, as I did, right? And come back and get financially stable, right? But you can't do that doing the same shit you were doing in the previous 20 years. Ain't no fucking way possible. So if you want to stay at your 9 to 5 and keep bitching about your income, then stay at your 9 to 5 and keep bitching about your income, right? You just, in my opinion, it looks stupid. I looked stupid for 20 years talking about that shit. You know how many people I worked with probably looked at me like, dude, do you ever, like, man, fuck, all you do is bitch about the fucking pay here. And you always talk about building something, but you never build something, right? That was me for 20 years talking about that shit. Man, I can't believe this motherfucker's only paying us $15 an hour. And we're all here for 16 hours a day breaking our back. And, you know, you got calluses on your feet so big you can't take a shower because it fucking hurts, right? You ever had that? Any guys in here ever had that? You work your feet to the so bad you touch water and it feels like you're standing on hot coals, right? So anyways, if you want different results, you got to do something different. You ultimately have to do something different. If you've never been consistent at anything other than going to a 9 to 5, try being consistent on building something for yourself. Okay, I think that's a very important, crucial key. Is most people do nothing for themselves. Now, I'm not saying all people, but I'm talking about build something for yourself. It doesn't have to be reselling, guys and girls. It doesn't have to be, you know, clothing. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But build something that you'd be proud of, and just go after it. You're going to look stupid for the first 2 years. Who cares? Right? I looked stupid too for the first year and a half or two. Right? I wasn't really getting the traffic. I wasn't really getting the sales I was looking for. There was a bunch of shit, right? I when I first started, I wanted to already look successful. Start to buy shit that I shouldn't have been buying. Right? Don't do that stuff. That's why another reason I made these videos is don't make the mistakes I make. Okay? And just go after it. And remember, repetition is what will make you win or lose on eBay. If your repetition is to procrastinate to the last minute and you can't even get your items up for the day and you keep doing that, you're going to keep getting the same results. If that's not working, don't you think it's important to try something different? If whatever you're doing in your life isn't working, right? You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're miserable at the end of the week because you're fucking every dollar you made from that week has to go towards bills, and then you're still not caught up. Like if you're living like that every single week, it's almost impossible to be excited about life. How can you be excited when you're getting nowhere? You can't be excited if you feel like you're going nowhere. You can't. It's impossible. You listen to oh gosh, I had a brain fart. Anyways, well, a guy I watch on a regular basis on YouTube, one of his statements is it takes one word that defies joyfulness, happiness, and being grateful in life, right? And that's progress. If you don't feel like you're making progress in life, that's what humans feed off. Humans feed off progress, right? You feed off progress. If you're not making progress, it's hard to feel good about yourself, man. So my strong encouragement would be if your repetition is the slack, procrastinate, and just make up excuses, get away from that. Stop making up excuses and just do. I don't really want to go down there and take fun. Well, then maybe this shit ain't for you, right? If you can't override that mindset that says just sit around and do nothing, then maybe you are meant to just be a 9 to 5er and broke. Right? Look, guys, I'm not saying nothing about all 9 to 5ers are broke. I know plenty of people that are working on 9 to 5 that are doing very well. Okay, I do. Usually, though, they know how to finance money and they live in their means. Right? Most people don't live in their means. I, for one, didn't live in my means for a very long time. We do now. We live within our means. We spend daily within our means. We put up a percentage every single day. Every single day of payout, a percentage goes to the side. A percentage goes for inventory, taxes, so on and so forth, right? So every, I can't get to, I really just, there's no other way than if your reputation that you've been consistent on for the past 5 years ain't working, you have to shift something. You have to shift something, right? It doesn't matter how little it is. Shift something little. Maybe you take your photos an hour earlier. Maybe you take them before you go to bed, so you're ready to just fucking list in the morning, right? Or it don't matter what time you list either. It doesn't matter if you're a first, second, third shifter. It doesn't matter. You can list from midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, be done for the rest of the day if you want to be. You really can. If you can be consistent at that every day, you can do that. All right, it's your boy Flippin' Soup. I hope this video helped. If it did, leave a comment below. If you got any questions about reselling, drop them in the comments below. If there's a type of video you would like to see, drop them in the comments below. I'm definitely open-minded to making a video about anything about eBay. I am not a master analogist or whatever you would say, like analytically, when it comes to every single feature on eBay. I don't know it. I know what makes you money, right? I know what makes you money on eBay and what's important and what you need to know. I know how to make coupons. I know how to send. I mean, all the basic stuff, right? All the extra stuff. I pay a CPA to figure that shit out at the end of the year. I'm not gonna take the time to learn all that when all I had to do is learn how to take photos, list items, customer service, get my items packaged on time. Why do I want to keep learning more, right? And no, I'm not saying I don't want to learn any more about, future eBay. I'm not saying that. I'm not acting as if I know it all about eBay. I know what makes us money on a daily basis, and I focus on that really hard. And that has been increasing our income, and it has been for the past, 4 years. So if our income has continued, the green arrow has continued to be up for the past 4 years. There's one time it went down, and that's when I got lazy. All right. So if it's been up for the past 4 years, there's a thing or two that I do know about reselling on eBay. Okay. I talk about them in every single video. I talk about the importance of consistency. Look, I don't care what you're selling. You sell glasses. I don't care. You sell keychain. It doesn't matter what you're selling. There's a market for it on eBay. One of the biggest things I got tripped up on is what's going to be the greatest niche? What's going to bring me the most money? What's going to bring me this? Well, what items should I be looking for? Get some fucking items listed and go after it. That's what's going to bring you money, right? If you want money on eBay, try to get out of your own head, because it's going to be very common for you in the beginning to want to buy everything. And I actually encourage you to do that in a thrift store. Buy a little bit of everything so you can see your return on investment on a little bit of everything. Try out electronics if you choose to. That's up to you. You're going to get a lot of returns. You're going to get people that steal from you. You're going to get people that guts out what they need out of that receiver, and they send it back to you broke and said you send it that way. And guess who eBay is going to follow through with? The customer. So you're going to be left out on your ass. Now, that's not to discourage you away from selling electronics. I know people that sell electronics that do very good numbers every single year. You could sell gold. You could sell silver. There's all kinds of stuff. And there's a market, literally, guys and girls, everything. It doesn't matter. You could think of anything. I chose clothes because it's a very lucrative market, which means you got to have more items on your inventory, but it's very easy. If you really want to find an abundance of clothes, it's very easy. Just start networking. That's your boy, Flippin' Soup. You guys have a great day.